80% of us abandon our New Year resolution within a month, and the easiest and most effective method to prevent that is journaling. So that's why this year I decided to create something special. This right here is my 79-page journaling system that I designed to help anyone to achieve their goal in 2025. This system helped me get into top university and business schools and succeed in management consulting at a global firm, earning 6 figures in my early 20s. And the best part is, it's just a PDF file. You can write on it, jump to different sections with embedded link, search for keywords, and even auto-correct your own handwriting. And honestly, this journaling template has helped me so much in the past to set clear objectives, plan daily activities, review quarterly milestones, and not to mention track my daily habit. So if you have 15 minutes to spare, I encourage you to watch this video until the very end, because it might just be the simplest, cheapest, and most effective productivity tool you will ever encounter for the entire year. You ready? Let's get started. So the first thing you have to understand is that what separates people who achieve their goals from those who don't is action and consistency. You probably heard this advice before. To succeed at anything, you need to create system, not just goals. That's why I consider this to be a very important topic, because I believe anyone should have made his or her journal the guiding system to break down his goals, track your habit, and see your progress along the way. And that's essentially what I have created here. This journaling template has 79 pages, of which 52 pages are actually a weekly planning page for 2025, 12 monthly review pages, 1 goal setting page at the very beginning, 2 annual review page at the very end, and 1 blank page. So let's go over how you would use them together. Now, the first page is what I call a goal setting page. So this page, as simple as it looks, took reference from 3 important sources. There's a bullet journal method by Rita Carroll, the 12-week year by Brian Morgan, and a scientific experiment from 2007 by Dr. Gil Matthews. Let me highlight Dr. Matthews' research so you know why he designed it like this. Back in 2007, Dr. Gil Matthews ran an experiment with 267 people from all professions and all ages to figure out how we should properly set our annual goals. She split everyone into 5 groups, and here's what each group did. The first group just thought about their goals, just keep their goals in the back of their minds. The second group actually wrote their annual objective down on a piece of paper and look at them every single day. And the third group went a step further and made specific action plans regarding their goals. The fourth group not only did all that, and also they shared their goals and plans with some friends to keep them accountable. And the fifth group took it to the next level by sending weekly updates to their friends and constantly review their progress. But what makes the result very interesting is where the biggest jump in success rate happens. Group 1, who only thought about their goals, scored the lowest at 4.28. Group 2, who wrote down their goals, performed 42% better, a surprisingly large improvement. Group 3 and 4, who created action plan and shared commitment with friends, showed only modest gains. However, Group 5's success rate jumped another 24% above Group 2's when they added regular progress review to their routine. So that tells us 2 things. Doing more planning and goal setting obviously improve your chances of success. The more you plan, the better of a result you're going to get. 2, to maximize our chance to succeed in our goal planning, it's very important that we not only have an action plan, having a supporting community, and most importantly, reflect on our progress throughout the year. So that's why for the entire journal template, we're going to follow what Group 5 did in Dr. Matthews' experiment. And here's how I did it. First, you want to, on the very left, you want to write down who will I be in 2025. For me, my goal is to become someone who learns new AI skills, be very competent at new assignment, and someone my team looks up to at time of crisis. And second, I want to have a good sized YouTube audience that supports me developing my own product, either that's a course or something else. I haven't really figured out that part yet, but I want to make a product that helps people in their day-to-day life. Point number 3, I want to be a loving family member. I was always away from home very often last year, so I'm at a stage of life that I start to think about being with family is probably more important than work. So overall, that's my New Year's goal. Then what we want to do is to further break down this ideal person into understandable characteristics. What define this ideal person? And I basically wrote down the following characteristics: financially secure, emotionally stable, learn new skills consistently to keep up with the new AI revolution, kind to everyone, physically stronger, and intelligently interesting. And in the next column, I brainstorm why each trait is most important for the upcoming years. This section helped me reason with myself and prioritize, determine which trait need immediate focus and which one can naturally develop over time as I get older. And after that, here's the fun part. Based on what you wrote, you want to come up with 3 initiatives that you want to focus on for the next 12 months. Think of it like choosing your main quest for a video game. You have 1 primary mission and 2 side quests that can also be important to you. For each of these initiatives, we're going to plan it like mini projects. I've included a column where you can break down your objectives and key result for each quarter. So for example, one of my main objective is to start to develop a product to sell. So for each quarter, I'm going to make myself an objective, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. And for each quarter, you want to set some KPIs. So KPIs, key performance indicator. If you hit that goal, that means this quarter you did a good job. So this helps you to think about what specific action do I need to take every 3 months? And how will I know if I'm making progress? Here's where it gets absolutely crucial for your success. First, you will look at this objective and KPIs and list out the daily habit that will support your initiatives. These are the building block for your success and push you to do the right thing day in and day out. And the second column here is what I call define your community or supporting system. This community will help you stay on track. It's a lot like having a workout buddy, but for your annual goals. When I decided to grow my YouTube channel, I joined Ali Abdal's part-time YouTube Academy, where a community of fellow creators share their progress and stories. So having this group to bounce ideas off and get feedback has been very valuable. And also, if you read the book 12-Week Year, it also emphasizes the importance of this concept of weekly accountability meeting, or WAM for short. Regularly discussing your project with a friend or community makes a huge difference in the long run, so you should absolutely do it. Second page that you want to learn is called a weekly journal page. It looks something like this. So you got 7 days worth of realistic. So you can basically input what kind of activity you want to do each day. And each day is divided into 3 sections. There's morning, there's afternoon, and evening. And this is basically how I look at my day every day. Is that I have 3 blocks of time for me to allocate my energy to. At the beginning of each day, so I basically mark each time block with an ABC system. How it works is that A stands for attention. This means that for the entirety of this time block, I'm going to be super focused. I'm not going to be distracted or wander off to do something else. This is usually a creative kind of work which requires a lot of brain power. So if I put down B here, B stands for buffer. That is everything that requires repetitive and low energy maintenance, like replying for emails or handling project or customer inquiries. It's basically things that you can do with your eyes closed. But this is also something you need to get done nevertheless. I usually schedule this for the afternoon when my energy naturally dips around 2 p.m. And for example, if I have C here, C stands for commitment. These are important tasks that needs dedicated time but aren't necessarily super challenging. Think of things like writing a report or doing research on a subject that you're already pretty familiar with. I usually tackle this kind of task in the afternoon or in the evening after my creative work is done. Obviously, there's another more traditional type of time blocking method that you can see right here. I actually made 2 type of template for you to choose from. This one basically it just have time of the day, for example 5 o'clock, have dinner meeting. So you can just write out things like that. So if you want to plan your day in more detailed fashion, you can use this sort of template, which is also there for you to download. I'm actually pretty proud of this template that I made. I took some time and effort to make this template available for everyone. And if you also enjoy this, I really hope that you can like and subscribe under this video. It helps the channel more than you know. So thank you. Let's get back to the video. And I just want to draw your attention to the very left here. As you can see, under the weekly number, I put 1940. This is 1940th week since I was born. I find this concept amazingly useful because it just put my life into perspective and it reminds me how much time has passed since I walk on this earth and how much time I may have left, which makes me want to treasure each day even more. Now, there are weekly goals, daily goals, key actions, which are pretty self-explanatory. Key action is basically the to-do list for the entire week. I like the feeling of checking things off, and it also a bit easier when I plan my day. I look to the left and see there are some of this commitment I need to take off. And lastly, I want to highlight this part. This is a habit checklist that connects back to the habit we brainstorm in our goal setting. It is crucial because over time, this habit you set at the beginning of the year can feel distant and irrelevant. And mark them complete with a little check mark, there's a far greater chance that you stay committed, right? So you just zoom in every day. If you have done something, you click a check mark. If you haven't done something, click a cross. So visually, it's going to be very obvious for you to know whether you have developed a certain habit or not. Though it takes minimal space, this checklist becomes incredibly valuable when you need to hold yourself accountable for your daily routines. And once you feel successful in completing a habit after a couple of weeks later, you can swap it out to something else. You're not stuck with this set of habit. You just keep on updating it on a rolling basis. Here's a tip for navigating the journal book, right? It has 79 pages, so it's difficult if you don't have link to jump between sections of your journal. An entire navigation bar on the top is basically clickable link. You click the month button, it will automatically take you to first week of the month. If you click here on this button where it says goal, it will automatically take it to your goal page, where you can look and review what you have wrote down. And click the monthly review, it will take you to monthly review page, right? Pretty straightforward. Let me tell you about the monthly review page. Here's how it works. At the end of each day, you want to take a brief moment to jot down a brief summary of your day right here. Think of it like a personal highlight reel. What makes today special or memorable, right? You want to write a little paragraph here. And at the end of the month, when you are filled up all this little daily snapshot, you want to do something really powerful. You look back and reflect on everything you've accomplished. You will see which goals are accomplished and which are habits have become a second nature and can basically graduate from your habit tracker. And then you want to conclude your month by ticking off one of these two boxes. Have I made significant progress towards my primary Q1 milestone? And two, have you made significant progress to your secondary goals? And if the answer is yes, you want to reward yourself with something nice. Think about that nice watch you've been eyeing all year, or like a PlayStation or something that you really wanted for a long time. I mean, instead of feeling guilty about treating yourself, why not make this an opportunity and a celebration of your achievements every month? It makes that experience so much more meaningful. That joy is doubled when you know you worked for it. It's actually turned my goal pursuit into this fun little game. Think of it like leveling up in a video game. Each achievement unlocks a new reward. It kept me more motivated and makes the whole journey more exciting. Now, there are two more pages I want to talk about. Following two pages you will likely not use very often, but it remains very important for your journal. I've been journaling for many years. From my very first year, I realized there are instances that simple words and lines couldn't really express my imagination. I need to draw and express myself more creatively and freely. That's why I create this completely blank page so you can basically draw anything. Now, the final page is the annual review page. So if you see annual review somewhere, for example, in the monthly review, you're going to see annual review. You click it, it will bring you to this view. This is where you want to be extremely systematic. Everything on this page should be either true or false. For each line here, I'll draw a green line if it's achieved, and then I'll draw a red line if I didn't. When I reach the milestone, I mark it with a big glowing star, and at the bottom of each month, I'll write down either achieved, delayed, or failed. This page presents the hard fact that forces you to look in the mirror and accept your shortcomings and failures. Trust me, during the year, most of us at some point will fail at our goals. What matters most is what you do afterwards. Many people will get discouraged after failing and never finish what they started. But there's a 9% of us who see failure as a stepping stone to course correct, making a new goal or adjust what doesn't work. Eventually, even if you don't fully achieve what we set out to do, we often end up not too far away from it. So you want to consider this page your ultimate progress tracker for the entire year. Now, that was a brief introduction of how I will journal for the next year, but that's not the end of it. There are also 6 important tricks to help you make this journal a bit more manageable, which I will elaborate after I talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. You probably heard about Skillshare before. They're a fantastic platform offering thousands of classes taught by industry experts in productivity, entrepreneurship, and basically anything you can imagine. I've been a Skillshare subscriber for over 6 years now, and I've learned so much from its vast library of courses that has made achieving my goal that much easier. Their curriculum spans from AI productivity to time management and any other topic you're interested in. If you're new to online learning, I suggest starting with some of their staff picks like Ali Abdal's Productivity Masterclass. These concepts are taught by real-life professionals and internet celebrities who excels at explaining complex concepts in engaging ways. You'll find thousands of classes to dive into as you work towards becoming the best version of yourself. And if you're one of the first 500 people to click the link in the video description, you'll receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. Use that link in the description to sign up for Skillshare today. Learning is a lifelong pursuit that everyone should make into a habit, and I hope Skillshare can make your learning more enjoyable. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. So to really use this journaling template more effectively, I'd like to offer you some tips and tricks to make your life a little bit easier. Tip number 1 is to get a good PDF editor. If you're using an iPad like I do, it has a built-in PDF editor for you to write on, but that writing experience is not optimized. Especially you need to zoom way in to write more clearly. So what I recommend is to download an app called GoodNote. It's got all the features I've showcased in this video, and it's honestly one of the biggest reasons why I switched to journaling on tablet. Slap on a paper-like screen protector, and this feels so much like a real notebook. The UI is very intuitive, and all my links work just fine. This app has a pretty cheap subscription fee, but I like the fact that you can just buy it with one-time fee for $30. If you ask me, that's absolutely worth it. Tip number 2, you don't have to go digital if you don't want to. I understand for a lot of people, there's nothing can quite replicate the feeling of writing on paper, and I completely understand that. That's why I didn't make this template for Notion or Obsidian or any other note-taking app. Since this is really just a PDF file, you can very simply just print this out and write it by hand. You can always use colorful stickers on the decide to mark different sections of the journal. So that choice is entirely yours. Tip number 3, remember when you set your quarterly KPI, understand that there are two types of milestones. There are leading indicator and there are lagging indicators. Leading indicator are actions you need to take. A lagging indicator are the result you aim for. While we humans are naturally drawn to setting lagging indicator as milestones, and this can be a trap. If you want to succeed in annual objectives, focus on the action rather than the result. This approach makes everything much easier to manage. Tip number 4 is to learn reverse goal setting. When creating your primary and secondary initiatives, you want to adopt a reverse goal setting mindset. Identify the key actions that will actually move you towards becoming your ideal self. For example, if I want to learn how to dunk a basketball, I know I need to train at the gym daily. But should I focus on the squat or should I incorporate polymetric or speed training? Those are nuanced approaches to design your initiatives. And you want to be very rational and scientific about it. Take a week or two to design the right initiative can set you up for long-term success. And if it's not obvious, doing squat all day doesn't really automatically make you jump higher. But that's another story for another video. And tip number 5 has been talked about all of the productivity books, which is set your goal in the SMART framework, which means all your goal needs to be specific, measurable, actionable, relevant to the bigger objective, and time-bound. A good example of the goal is I need to grow my YouTube channel to 100K subscriber by the end of the year by posting 2 to 4 times per month throughout the entire year. It has an action. It's related to my goal of having an online audience, and it has to be within a year. So I hope that's pretty straightforward. If you want to make your own goal, it has to be follow this kind of a format. And this final one is not so much of a tip, but rather a reminder. And it's probably the most important one you need to hear from this video. That is, sometimes a very small commitment can eventually pay off in a big way. Let me show you. In my daily habit tracker, there is this tiny line that says, call grandma every day. See, I grew up with my grandma in China, who in this year is turning 88 years old. And as my life took me to different places across the world, traveling and working in different places, I can count my time speaking with my grandma on the phone or let alone meet her in person, since I'm literally half a world away from her. And I have to be honest, consulting is a very busy line of work, and sometimes taking 15 minutes to call my grandparents, it feels like an extra task I have to remind myself of every single day. What I realized this year is that 15 minutes, to me it feels like a task, but for my grandma, it will be the highlight of her day. And you know what? None of us are like to think about it, but our time with our loved ones isn't infinite. This small daily commitment, they are what we'll remember when the inevitable happens, when our loved ones leave us, and this is what will give us peace of mind for the rest of our lives. Sure, we're all here, sitting here talking about crushing our goals and becoming the best version of ourselves. But sometimes the most important commitments are not about us. So maybe we can all find that one small daily act of love for someone special, even if they are halfway across the world. I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you all have a great new year and achieve all your goals. And like always, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm KevZ. I'll see you in the next one.